Yeah, welcome to this video. Playing Tim M here in the 25-10 pool. So, yeah, let's go for Sicilian. I really wonder, shouldn't I be among the... Oops, what happened here? I don't see myself in the best list in 25. Shouldn't I be in the best list there? Maybe I'm not. There are not enough games. Okay, anyway, let's see. We got the Taimanov line that I recently played quite a bit. Let's see what he's doing. The most most topical move is bishop e3. This English attack setup. Yeah, here is an interesting moment. White can play bishop e3 or king h1. These are the two big moves. Is that the moment where you can play h5? I wonder. I think it is. There is a line like that where knight g4 now is an idea. Not sure if it is here actually. Yeah, anyway, it's an interesting move. Okay. Tja, never know in those instances how to recapture. Maybe pawn takes is not so bad. f4, I have e5, I guess. Playing a bit too quickly, I'm still in blitz mode. You really should think for a moment there. If you have the 25 minutes, you should at least spend a moment on the opening. In that somewhat longer time control, I mean, the likelihood that some mistakes are going to be punished is just higher, so have to be especially alert. Tja, he's threatening e4, e5. That's not something that I can allow. I think I have to go e5 in this position. Tja, allowing him e5 is just bad. If he takes it, I play knight g4. Yeah, I'm sitting there with no development whatsoever. That's not good. On the other hand, if he takes on e5, knight g4, I might get a great knight to e5. f5 is the more obvious move, let's say. I had a very similar position in the European Club Cup last year in Bilbao. Oh, wait, he takes. So, okay, well, knight g4 is something that here it's useless to spend time. Yeah, okay, there is this opportunity after knight takes e5 for him to take on h5. That really might be an issue. An important point is that he's threatening the move e6. So maybe, what about bishop e6? Is that an idea, or is that rubbish? Bishop e6. My idea is to operate with ideas like rook d8 and things like that. Yeah, I think I can do this. Bishop c5 is also an interesting move that might come in handy later. It's an important thing that after if he goes h3 now, I don't have to move that knight. I can go bishop c5. as he cannot capture on g4 due to mate with the rook on the h file. Let's check the other ratings of that guy. Yeah, his 5 minute isn't great, but he's decent in 15. Playing the 45-45 league. I think I haven't played him before. Yeah, what is he playing now? Interesting. It might be somehow good for him, but not easy. Knight d5, I think I can take with the pawn. cd5, ed5, and maybe rook d8. Okay, so he decided to move that bishop to d3. What is the idea? Maybe queen f3, something like that. Is that the idea? Maybe. Okay, an interesting question is, do I take on e5 or not? Now I can delay this capture and play something like bishop c5. I'm not sure if it is a particularly good idea to do that, because if I take on e5 now, the future move bishop to d6 might come in handy. On the other hand, the knight on g4 is also an interesting active piece. Bishop c5 has one point, that might be bishop d4 and taking on e5 with the bishop. That's of course even more desirable than taking with the knight. If I would get in bishop c5, d4 takes on e5. Maybe this is good, right? That could be interesting. Let's do that. If I get to take on e5 with the bishop, there's a huge likelihood that the bishops are getting traded. And if the bishops are traded, the dark squared bishops, then a knight on e5 would be just a rock. Yeah, it cannot be disturbed then by bishops, making it a fantastic piece. It would be a good piece if it just takes on e5 immediately, but it's still in a pin. And this e5 square that's occupied by the knight is a case where many pieces want to be on that square. My bishop would like to be on e5, the knight would like to be on e5, and actually getting in something like bishop d4, bishop takes e5, and trading the dark squared bishop would be a fantastic achievement, strategically speaking. So I'm intending to play bishop d4. Of course, there is knight f2 check, but that's not something that was very high on my list of priorities. So bishop d4, that was the whole point. What I'm wondering is, if I go bishop d4, if he actually can go knight d5 in this position. Is that a possibility? Bishop d4, knight d5, c takes, e takes. I mean, I don't really have a great square to go for my bishop. So is it an idea to castle long, maybe? Just start with long castles here. With the queen on f3, he absolutely can never go. I mean, he can play h3, but he will not be able to take the knight ever. Maybe just castling long. Is there something particularly off-putting? I don't see it. So I'm doing this mostly that I can take twice on d5 if he gets knight d5 in. Yeah, that's really some problem of white's position here, that the knight on c3 is just looking at protected squares, c6 and b5, and e2 isn't very attractive. e4 is occupied by a pawn. White's position actually would be far more attractive if there wasn't a pawn on e4, that he would have been able to play knight e4, let's say. So bishop d4, that's really the move that's the obvious move, let's say. So there, Not really. I don't really see a huge problem or any problem with it. So let's do it. Go for bishop takes e5. As I said, that is the strategically desirable way to play. Take on e5 with the bishop and possibly get bishops traded. Yeah, we both played relatively quickly here. 25-10 is a time control where you can take some time. Yeah, I don't really know what he's supposed to do now. I personally don't like white's position at all, but it's probably not that bad if you play it correctly. Yeah, even though I cannot tell you really what he should do. If I get in, I mean, let's just say he plays whatever, yeah, I don't know, a3 or something, which doesn't make much sense, but then bishop e5, bishop takes e5, queen takes e5 is brilliant, or knight takes e5. It's both brilliant for black. I have the better pawn structure, better bishop in relation to that, to my pawns. It's very, very nice. Better bishop is probably a bit wrong, but the bishop on d3 is not helping much, but I also have my fair share of pawns on light squares. However, he has that pawn on e4, which is really not helping with having a bishop on d3. Yeah, he has to look at that scenario. Bishop takes e5. Maybe he has to play something like g3, but then I have h4. And my play there on the king side is accelerating tremendously. Tja, I don't really know what he's doing now. That bishop d3, queen f3 idea, yeah, doesn't really strikes as particularly great. Very often, if you are in a slightly or in a worse position, an idea is to try to improve the worst placed piece. Sometimes, if you actually don't know what your worst placed piece is, because they're a couple, then usually you are really in trouble. Yeah, I think, can he do something maybe? What about that knight on c3? Is there some way to activate that? Maybe he can try, no, but also not good. I'm thinking maybe knight e2, bishop e5, and then trying something to get the knight to f4 later, disturbing me a little bit. But I don't really see how this should happen. Yeah, it just doesn't look good. I don't know what his move is, what his intention is now. Not easy, not easy. Difficult to move. And there are some problems with very concrete lines. For example, let's just say he plays queen e2, intending bishop c4, trade of that bishop. I take on e5 with the bishop, and if he takes on e5, I take with the queen, threatening mate on h2, and that already gets downhill very quickly. Yeah, g3, h4, black is probably winning there. So it's not at all easy. Yeah, to be honest, I don't really think that taking on e5 is that great an idea. It is only really a good option if you can justify the structural concession with some very concrete play. sacrifices like 95 or something really, really drastic, but it didn't really materialize. Maybe there simply was no really active possibility. Yeah, now it's taking a long time. I understand it's not easy to find something good. Maybe he always thought that I would take on e5 with the knight and he can build his play around that pinning situation. And he didn't really recognize that idea with this bishop c5 d4 idea. Yeah, uncomfortable. Maybe he will play some kind of non-move like a3 at the end. Simply failing to find anything substantial. No, I don't really have a great advice for him. It's taking forever here, but it's not disconnected. Wow, he's got the best connection I ever saw on ICC. Wow. 21 milliseconds latency. He must basically live next door to that server. Cool. That's a great connection. Okay, anyway, connection can be as good as you can imagine, but still, it doesn't help with the position. Running out of ideas what to chat about. Tja. Really don't see a good idea for him. Interesting. Okay, bishop takes e5 is the most obvious move. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want to second guess here that much. It cannot be bad, really. At least I would be very surprised. So he takes there. Yeah, I think queen takes is the way to do it. Operating with that mate threat on h2. Always nice to threaten checkmate in one. So, okay. That means that after rook d1, he has to take with knight or bishop. Okay. Take on f4. And then rook d2 at the end. It's also not bad. Huh, interesting. I can also take and play knight to e3, but I'm not sure about this. But taking here, and yes, to take with the minor piece looks attractive. Or, as I said, take here and get his rook to f4, which is not the most attractive position. Okay, but is this really everything that I have? Or is there something entirely different maybe? I can also just take f4. I take d1, probably the bishop will take. Take f4, rook f4, and knight e5. This is a very one-sided position. Maybe this is the simplest. I don't think I have something that is much better. Okay, let's go for that. They're better, no, probably not. Let's take and put the knight here. So I have that fantastic knight on e5. But is that really leading to something concrete? What is his move? I think most likely something like knight to e3 or king g1. The question is, do I have to invest a move on g6 to cover the pawn? Or can I go rook d8 immediately? One point is that after a possible bishop takes h5, I might have g5, tempo, rook moves, and then g4. The bishop is somewhat trapped there on h5. So not quite clear if I need the g6 move at all. Playing rook d8 quicker has the benefit of maybe allowing a very early rook to d2. Rook d8, bishop h5, g5, rook somewhere, then g4. Threatens the knight and threatens rook h8, winning that piece. I don't really see an antidote to that. Yeah, the question is, maybe I have to play g6 later anyway. It's definitely possible. But as long as I'm not forced, I'm not sure that I should play it. And now bishop takes h5, I think it's definitely not working. g5, tempo, rook, and then g4. Yeah, I don't think so. That traps the bishop. Self trap. Yeah, 93, that looks far more sensible. So this might be a moment where I am... I wonder, can I actually avoid... I don't think so. It's probably not possible to avoid the move. It also takes f5 away, and so it's not bad. Whoa, that is surprising. Putting more on light square. Or is he just, is it an idea to just go something to c4? Maybe. Yeah, I was thinking rook d4 maybe. Intending g5. And c3 rook d2 looks terrible. Yeah, knight c4. I can take with the bishop. And after bishop takes c4, I have a... No, I will take... Sorry, if you put something on c4, I will take twice. And then after, let's say, knight c4, bishop c4, bishop c4, knight c4, bc4, I play f5. That's important. Pinning on the fourth rank. Okay, this move, that's surprising. I thought after g5 and rook takes e4, I'm just winning a pawn for no particular compensation. Isn't that the case? Maybe that's wrong. That's a wrong idea. Rook d2, he has rook f2, and not sure that gained me much. One issue is, let's say rook f6, rook takes e4, the knight on e3 hangs, and he cannot move it as e2 is also hanging. Therefore, it's a bit of an unlucky spot. Maybe he has to play like rook f2. No. Okay, so I'm grabbing the pawn. So here, yeah, he's in forking distance with knight g4, but doesn't look like I get an easy fork in. Here's knight f5 as a possible move. What's easiest here? h4, I guess, right? Knight f5, I always have king d7. Okay, let's go h4. Getting rid of that somewhat weakish pawn. Of course, that rook on e4, it has a nice looking central position, but it's also a bit vulnerable. At the moment, however, it's not apparent that he has something good. So some things are downright bad, yeah? Like, I don't know, bishop d3, can take e3 and win a piece. Pooh, that's mysterious. What is that move all about? Taking away more squares from my rook, I guess. Okay, check. I can take there and handle it from here. Is there a threat? I don't see it at the moment. Bishop d3 is no move at all. Can I just activate my king here? King d7. Maybe, yeah. I don't really see why not. Maybe I should play a5. a5, a4 would highlight a drawback of that c3 move, weakening b3. Yeah, that would have been interesting actually, even instead of king to d7. I really don't see how he rests my rook. Bishop f3, I just take it. Yeah, a5, a4. It's a good idea probably. Yeah, the rook, is it doing something brilliant? I don't know. I can just do this, I think. So trying to use that rook really on the 4th rank with the a4 idea. Yeah, white has very little counterplay here with his rook. Rook h8, rook g8, that takes 2 moves. Okay, that just takes 1 move. So is it an issue? Yeah, I don't know, a4, giving that back. I don't know if that's a great idea. But playing g4 also feels a bit wrong. The move f6, rook h7, that looks wrong, yeah, really wrong, to allow this kind of activity. Yeah, I definitely can go g4, but it's not exactly a dream scenario. Right, f6 is also bad. If I go a4, he probably will go rook takes g5. Or taking on a4. Yeah, okay. I'm keeping that. Let's keep the pawn. It's not just the pawn, it also takes away squares, like f3 in particular. It's not ideal, but probably still the right move. One issue is that if I go a4 and he takes it, I cannot easily recapture with the rook on a4 as the knight on e5 is hanging. So I have to consider a move like king to d6 maybe, which runs into checking distance of that knight. It's not, yeah, that's not something that you, you like to allow, but very likely it is not a problem at all. Yeah, and well, he has to play a move first, yeah. Yeah, note how good a piece my bishop on e7, on e6 is. Yeah, it was placed there, move 12, and is very nicely positioned there, being yeah, anchoring the being anchored on e6. Okay, well, trying to find words for things, my opponent has just given me the a2 pawn. So, should I take it or not? It's difficult to believe that I shouldn't take it. Knight d3 check, king e2. Maybe I even have a better move, but I don't see it. Knight c1 check, king d2, knight takes a2, and king d3. Yeah, king d3 is a bit... And a5 hangs. That's an important thing. Okay, now that's not so clear. Really isn't. And bishop c2 is now on his agenda. Okay, bishop c2 is the next move, very likely. My rook doesn't have squares. That's really the case. One thing I thought of is knight d3 check, king to e2, rook e5. If he then takes, I have this minor piece endgame with the pawn. It's not easy to win, definitely not, but probably still the best option. Knight d3 check, king e2, rook e5, yeah? Or does he have bishop takes g4 there? Nonsense, the king is on e2. Stupid stuff. Rook e5. No, I think that should be good actually. So
check.
Let's do it. So knight c1 check, king d2, knight takes a2. He can take on a5. And this... Okay, I take c3 then maybe. King d3. No, that's not really a problem. So maybe I should just take stuff there. Knight c1 and knight takes a2. He also has king d3 at the end of that line. Knight c1, king d2, knight takes a2, and then king takes d3. Yeah, maybe I can play knight takes c3 then. As weird as it looks. It might just work. Rook e5 is the other move. If he trades it, that's of course a very nice endgame. And if he moves the rook, I still have knight c1. So let's do that. It's probably a good choice. It's possible that maybe knight c1 was, yeah, like tactically winning something that was just taking advantage of this somewhat awkward situation. I wonder, by the way, if he moves the rook, the move knight to c5 is also not to be sniffed at, because knight e4 is a pretty big threat. Looking at that pawn on g3, okay, that doesn't matter because he traded rooks. Yes, yeah, knight to f4. That was something that I had thought about, but couldn't really believe to be that great. I can even go bishop to d5 in this position. Yeah, that's a good idea, I think. Knight f4, bishop f3 check. That looks very, very nice. Driving his king back. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Check.
So, is there a better move than the immediate trade? No, I don't think so. So let's take it and go from here. Knight on again on e4 would be really nice. Knight to e4. Is there some way to get it there quickly? f3, g5, e4 is a possible route. He's not really threatening to regroup his knight so that pawns will be hanging quickly. The knight on king d6, king e2, knight d7, king e3, knight f6. Doesn't seem so convincing. Okay. Not totally sure what the best way is to do that technically. Let's start with this one. Yeah, king e2 or king d2 is very likely. Knight to e6, something like that also would be quite nice. But maybe this heading for e4, allowing king e5 the right movement. Yeah, that might be an idea. Knight c5 and then king e5 for knight e4 later. So knight c5, the first move in that sequence. Ready for king e5 next. And I have knight to e6 sometimes. He really never can trade, even though my pawns are not that active at the moment. I will always be able to use the extra pawn with f5, king e5, f4 check, and so on. He will run out of moves sometimes, so knight e6 is a possibility. So here, I wanted to go king e5 though, being active and allowing a possible knight to e4. I didn't want to go into e6, but to e4, pressurizing c3 and looking at g3. Okay, so if I go knight e4 now, the only really meaningful move there is the check on d3, but after king f5, I will take on g3 next. Okay, I have some time. Shouldn't be rushed there. Knight d3 check, king f5. No, I don't really see it. And knight e2 just loses due to loses to normal moves. Knight e2, the easiest probably being f5. Yeah, f5. Intending knight takes g3 for the f4 fork. He's out of moves now. Knight takes g3. It's no defense against that. Cannot move the knight. Okay, king d3 maybe. Yeah, maybe this one. I can just go b5 or something. b5 is a bit, it's not a, and he's got knight d4, which is unnecessarily complicated, relatively speaking. Okay, so I can take on g3, huh?
White resigns.
Okay, let's do a recap of that game. Yeah, a nice Sicilian game in the Taimanov. Yeah, he went with this king h1, h5. I'm not completely sure what the main continuation is now. I think it is this. I think this is something that is actually known, like e5. Something like that is the theoretical continuation. But okay, he took and went f4. Yeah, now he's threatening to play e5. So if I play a lame move, he will get a very nice position. I mean, besides maybe bishop h5 or something, but it's just good for white, his position. I have to go e5, there is no doubt there. Okay, he took it, and I don't like it so much, unless he has something very concrete, which is possible maybe, but it's other than that, this is the normal move, just gaining space there. In the European Club Cup, I had almost the same position, but the bishop was on d3 already. Okay, so he took it. I went here. Very normal move, bishop e6. Yeah, he's threatening this. So if I take here, there are some awkward ideas. Yeah, that would lose. Yeah, okay, bishop e6 is better anyway. So we went bishop d3. Yeah, that's really a lame move. It's somewhat meek. Yeah, the computer wants to play this move. Interesting. Yeah, taking control over that important square and asking black what is my next move. If I do this, for example, I can even consider this invasion. Interesting, very interesting position. Yeah, that's probably what you should do. This is really a really meek move. Bishop c5, that's good. This is probably a threat, even though I would be sometimes reluctant to play it, yeah, because that's such a nice prospect of putting the knight on e5 later, but probably just good still to take the exchange if he would allow it. Okay, he played here, and now long castles. Yeah, this move might run into knight d5. Yeah, the engine agrees. Huh? That really looks dangerous a lot. Yeah, I mean this is more than dangerous. So long castles is very logical. And here is the move where he took here that he played relatively quickly. Yeah, the engine already gives black a huge advantage. So I was right. I really didn't see anything great. This idea bishop d4 is very strong. This move bishop d4, bishop e2 is relatively best according to the engine. Bishop e5, bishop takes e5, queen f4. Yeah, interesting now. Do I take here or do I take on f4? I mean, it probably leads to close to the same positions. Yeah, here rook d8. That was interesting. I wasn't really sure if it nets me that much, but rook d2 is probably really strong. Yeah, that's probably better. But that does not really give away much. Here, yeah, if he takes it, I go g5 here and g4, and I think I'm trapping that, but the computer does not agree. Ah yeah, it gives this, of course. Yeah, this is not even that clear. Okay, yeah, that's true. So, but that is supposed to be good. Okay, yeah, I understand. That's a nice option. Just with the rook on the second rank. Okay, maybe better even then. Here g6, b3. I went there, and now we played this. Yeah, and I just took this. Okay, yeah, the engine gives this move, which I did not see. Takes, rook d2, I'm sorry. Takes, oops. Takes, rook takes. Nah, that's no good. Not an advantage. Oh, knight f5, that's a good way to try to defend. They don't have such a great move there. I can go here and continue, but it was much better, knight f5. After this, I took it here and h4, and again black has a substantial advantage. Here,
check.
Takes and a5. No, I went king d7. Yeah, a5 immediately was maybe more precise. Look here, and again a5. Went here. And okay, the engine, oops. Oh, I made a blunder here. Knight f1 with knight d2. Oops, my rook. Ha. Oops. So I should do this. I mean, I saw that, but I was thinking that this is not as convincing as g4, but I did not, he went here. I didn't see that move. The retreat moves with the knight are tricky, that's true, but still, I should have seen that idea. I was aware that my rook is short on squares, but what an embarrassing move, yeah? My rook doesn't have any square. The engine wants to do this.
Check.
And assesses this as equal.
Check.
And my rook is somewhat active. Maybe I can draw, but wow. That would have been very awkward. He did that.
Check.
And now I'm clearly better here, right? Yeah. This. Yeah, okay, bishop e4 is also a good move, just dominating, but the knight endgames with extra pawns are very often winning. This, and here, king e5, yeah. I think it's just really a win, this. It wasn't the toughest defense ever that he put up here, but it is really a win, this endgame. So he had this chance, this opportunity when I played the g4 move. That was his big opportunity in the game, to play knight f1. And after he missed that chance, yeah, I'm basically winning in that endgame. Okay, that was an interesting Sicilian battle. I hope you enjoyed that game. Thanks for watching.